welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Bob Yoho. In all my time on here, I've tried to not mention politics. I've tried to keep it to a minimum because that's not really why I started this YouTube channel. That isn't what I want to discuss. But last week was a rough week for our country. There was a young woman named Irina that died on a train for no reason whatsoever because some evil person wanted to hurt her. And then we had a school shooting too. And then, of course, everybody knows, and that's the reason I came on here today to talk about Charlie Kirk. I've listened to Charlie Kirk a lot over the years, and my wife listened to him a lot. And I've heard the man talk. I've never seen probably a more kind individual in his personal life and in his business life and his talking with people. I've never witnessed a man much more kind to people that didn't agree with him than Charlie Kirk. I wish I was the kind of individual that wouldn't lose my temper and be able to agree with people that didn't agree with me as well as he did. I would love to be more like that than I am. And unfortunately, I'm not. I'm probably just not that good an individual as he was. But this man, I saw him debate kids on college campuses. He let everybody talk. He didn't let the people come up that just agreed with him on everything. Fact is, I think he enjoyed the debate between those that didn't agree with him. And I think he enjoyed that maybe more so than the ones that agreed with him and come up asking questions that were easy to be answered, that anybody can answer. Charlie Kirk was just a guy that loved to, and probably the thing I liked about him the best, he was a man of faith. He was not ashamed of his Christian faith. He did everything he could to share it, and I find that remarkable. I find that credible. I find that unusual. And something to be celebrated was not his death, but the living of his faith. And that was remarkable to me. And honestly, frankly, I will never, ever, as long as I live upon this earth, ever understand. I will never understand how anybody can sit there and rejoice and laugh and just be gleeful about the passing of another human life in a tragic way. I do not understand that. I do not understand how somebody could totally and completely lose all humanity to see the way this Charlie Kirk passed from this life, the way he was assassinated for his faith and his political beliefs. I cannot understand how anybody could be so evil as to sit there and laugh and post things online about how happy they were about it. I don't understand that. There are men in this world, there are politicians, there are people that I don't much care for, but I couldn't be happy about them passing out of this world because I fear for their eternity and where their soul might spend it. This is too serious a thing. Too serious to me. It ought to be too serious to people. I do not understand it. You have lost your humanity. If you can sit there and rejoice about the passing of another human life, you need to go back and look yourself in the mirror. And better yet, you probably need to get down on your knees and ask God to forgive you. Because something is not right with you. And you have to wonder whether it's you speaking or something from beneath. I've been amazed this week at the evil that puts itself on social media and rejoices in this tragic death. A man that was a husband and a father and had two small kids, and they don't have any father to hug them tonight or put them to bed. and their young wife left with her husband snatched away needlessly because somebody didn't bother trying to listen to him or hear him out and didn't know what he really said. They thought he was hateful and evil. And Charlie Kirk was a good man. He was a decent man. He was a man that tried to give everybody a fair chance to debate him. He was a man that talked. He had conversations with people he didn't agree with, that faith he didn't practice, of political views he didn't share. And he let everyone talk freely. And he listened to what they had to say. And he gave his point of view on what they said. And maybe tried to persuade them to accept his view of life. That's not a life that deserves to be taken. That's a life that deserves to be celebrated. Not to death, a life. Charlie Kirk was a good man. He didn't deserve to meet his end this way. But I do thank God there are still good people out there. And they're here in America, and they're overseas as well, that know what a good man this was and have been mourning over his passing. And that gives me a lot of hope in humanity at a time when I really begin to have a lot of doubts. But this world will miss Charlie Kirk. We need more people like him. Back when I was a kid, we measured a man by how good he was to his neighbors. You know, I remember my dad, there were people he didn't agree with, and it would come down to politics, but that wasn't a major thing. Dad taught us to know about these people. Dad taught us to know about, this is the kind of guy that would come over and help him in the field. If Dad's hay baler was broke down, they'd offer to bring theirs over to him so he could get his hay baled before it rained. These are people that would share their farm equipment with a neighbor that was in a tough spot. These were people that would stop on the highway and help you change a tire if you broke down, or if you was in a parking lot, you need a battery jumped, you need a charger. These were people that would help you, and they didn't care. They didn't give a hoot about what you believed or what your politics were or who you chose to worship. These were people that were there for you. They were friends. They were neighbors. That was Charlie Kirk. If he saw you along the side of the highway and he could have done anything to help, I'm sure he would have. But we need to get back to the idea that people are people. And we base a person not so much on his political beliefs, but by the fact he's another human being. And we take him at his face value for what he is and what he stands for based on how he treats people, not what he believes, not what he says, not his political views or spiritual views. Charlie Kirk was a good man. He didn't deserve to die like this. That's about as close to politics as I'm going to get on this YouTube channel, but I just thought there were some things I need to say. I'd honestly hope I could be a good a man as Charlie Kirk appeared to be to me. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. I thought it just couldn't go by without being mentioned. Thanks for stopping in this week. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.